And this brings us to what is undoubtedly a big W for DEI.
DEI? You should DIE. What the fuck? My absolute favorite, maybe aspect of right-wingers in general is that they're very normal guys who aren't weirdos about anything. They're totally normal about every single thing that there is. Think of a thing, right? Styrofoam cups. Normal about that. Nope, they freak out about the cups, actually. Didn't they have to make a red cup? Looking at stuff. Straws? No, they actually got mad about paper straws. I actually was trying to Kaiser Soze this situation. They also get mad about, the laser swords. They get mad about this. Acolyte finale is hilariously bad. A force is female abomination. I guess spoilers for this, maybe? I don't know. But I don't really need to personally get into... I don't think it'll be like deep spoilers. Maybe it will be. But it is a fine show. I think it is, like, as far as Star Wars, series go, it's under Andor for me, but, everything's going to be. And it's definitely a much better than some of the other extended universe stuff. I think this is a solid 8 out of 10 Star Wars content. I liked the Acolyte. It was good. But all the chuds are mad about it, and I guess it's probably because of the actress. Like, she's a woman and black, right? And there's a cast of diverse people in there. There are white people, and I guess it's a chud war zone. He got 500,000 views on this video because the chuds are upset. Okay. This is Nerdrodic, by the way, who I barely ever watch.
She ignites the lightsaber and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat. Her anguished eyes stare at him unfocused. Pressed against him, she meets his sympathetic gaze. He gently takes hold of her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat.
Yeah.
Osha gazes deeply into his eyes.
How does it feel?
Nerdrodic.com.
All right, so... Does he often do cold opens that are supposed to be sexual? Is that the thing? Is that a bit? I don't know. I don't ever watch any of this. Wow, there's a lot. It's just the only thing he makes. Acolyte. Furiosa, Rings of Power, Disney. This is just the it's the same shit. So this is the guy that makes all the core culture war shit. And so he makes one video, and he'll do it once a week, it looks like, or something. The quartering has to do fucking 17 videos a day to get to these kind of numbers, and that's really where it's at. That's so cringe, man. Anyway, so I'm going to click a random one to see what happens.
In our zeal to basically grow our content significantly.
No, it doesn't look like it, okay. I didn't know if Nerdrodic was erotic. I don't even know.
Greetings, you over 1 million Hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. The force is
well into the 40% on that.
Female has come full cycle. Back on April...
The force female? I see. So this is pop chauvinism or something? This is what we're at? This is pop conservatism, misogyny stuff? Culture war guys, gamer gators? But dorks, even dorkier, even worse.
22nd of 2020, when it was announced that former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, will be heading a Star Wars project.
I just try to treat everything as if we're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Many of us at the time speculated it would be an intersectional feminist fever dream, focusing more on identity politics than actually crafting a story.
I actually don't feel like it was about identity politics at all. What? The show was about identity politics? By the way, she's stunning now, but she was stunning in the fucking show. Have you seen her? Acolyte. I don't even know what her character name is, but just look at her. Holy shit, what a character design. This is super cool. This is just one of her looks. Here's another one. Anastasia, that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, she just looks so dope. Very cool.
Yes.
Devolving into mystery box bullshit, which is a cheap way of circumventing characterization and narrative, with the added bonus of on-brand Disney Star Wars.
I totally I disagree. This was all about character and narrative. They weren't the guy didn't walk into the scene and go, as an Asian American actor portraying a Jedi. I think it's really important that you listen to the next scene, and it's about wokeness and inclusivity. No, they swung lightsabers at each other, and there was like, it's a crime drama. My pitch for the Acolyte is crimes are happening, the Jedi are investigating it, and you figure out what happens over time. There's an investigation on an event that happens, and it's pretty cool. It's not like perfect or anything, but it's definitely, we're moving in the right direction. If this is the quality of program that we're gonna get minimum every single time, or not even minimum, like you could go a little bit lower than this, and I'd be like, okay, that was pretty fine. But this is actually pretty good stuff. This is just a good TV series for like 8 episodes if you like Star Wars stuff. But even then, it's not like, it's not like great or anything. I have no idea. I mean, the hype around it is crazy, like, or the negative hype. I don't know. They keep talking about this. HQT Adam, thank you for giving one to Dragon Princess.
Have a fantastic day.
Lore destruction, jingling key cameos, and fan attacks. And now, well over 4 years later, it's been confirmed. The Acolyte is indeed an intersectional feminist fever dream that focused more on identity politics rather than crafting a story that devolved into mystery box bullshit, which circumvented characterization and narrative, with a healthy serving of that on-brand Disney Star Wars lore destruction, key jingling cameos, and fan attacks. So let's get to episode 8 of The Acolyte, called The Acolyte.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess so maybe there's spoilers for this. I don't know. What does he think identity politics are? I don't know. If you don't care about this, I don't blame you. Like if you're like, I don't care about spoilers for this, then continue to watch. I think it's good. I also really like the Straw Wars Attack of the Straw Man. Fuck. I really like the bad guy in it.
Previously on The Acolyte.
Who knows?
I mean, the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. It depends on what side you're standing on.
I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
Yeah, man.
People have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I'm frankly into it.
Is it the gayest Star? Oh, I guess it might be.
Carried them. I created them.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying.
You should just shut up.
It's
You
just
should
like,
shut up. I love you. You should
but that
shut
is
up.
the beauty of this story.
Are you people f***ing retarded?
But the Jedi
It's sick, bro. So is this? I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a reverse fan cam. It's like you just put stuff back and forward. Anyway, by the way, Manny Jacinto is really good in this. He does a good job. His scenes are really great.
like you might call me Sith.
I can't help but feel partially responsible.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
I dropped it.
We put fart noises. By the way, the fights in this show were actually really cool. It probably has some of the best fight choreography in a Star Wars show that involves lightsabers, probably since the Rian Johnson movie. What's up, Hadal?
A diss track. That's what I heard.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
You get nauseous when you travel through hyperspace?
I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
What the fuck is this sizzle reel? We're still on it. Is he gonna talk? Is this just all it is? Is he gonna? When's he talk? Another fart noise.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
We open up directly following the events of episode 6, which was followed by the flashback episode 7, which was essentially a repeat of the flashback episode 3. We last saw...
It wasn't. This is not a flashback that was a repeat. There are flashbacks from different perspectives, and so every time you do a flashback, you get different people's perspectives of events when they tell them, and that's what the story is about, is the different stories that each of them have about an event.
First non-binary female protagonist putting on a helmet. And wouldn't you know...
Wait, they use she, her pronouns the whole time. What do you mean non-binary female protagonist? Why are you saying that?
She has a vision of diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who was now back to being an antagonist, killing that guy from Squid Game, and she knows where they'll be later in the episode.
How convenient.
And because The Acolyte is somewhere between a CW show and the worst kind of 14-year-old girl fan fiction written as a coloring book, Little Wang, who wants to kill both the guy from Squid Game and the diverse non-binary antagonist who's briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and diverse non-binary protagonist who wants to stop.
Bro, is this what people fucking... So people watch this, but like, do they watch it?
I don't know how you masturbate. You have no mass.
It's a great clip. The lack of media literacy strikes back again. Yeah, I don't know what he's complaining about.
Diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist from killing that guy from Squid Game.
He doesn't. So this protagonist antagonist like gripe he seems to have is just that like the characters are complex and you have different ideas about where they stand on an issue, on a few issues, and you know, it's interesting to see them navigate their perspectives. I don't know, this protagonist antagonist shit, they're kind of all protagonists. Even this guy is a protagonist in a lot of ways. He antagonizes other protagonists, but he's a protagonist himself. Although I guess we don't have a point of view of him, so I guess he'd be maybe more strictly an antagonist, but even so.
Had to go together in the same ship.
With what ship? I'm taking mine.
You're going where exactly? I've seen where they are.
So we go together and see who gets to her first.
And you may or may not remember that the last time we saw a diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and that guy...
He thinks he's like clever for it, and I mean, he's getting a lot of views, I guess, sure. But like, he's just a hater, man.
Guy from Squid Game, he had her restrained on a bed. Right, what you know, Leslie. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game was finally going to reveal the truth that he had been teasing all season.
Yikes, bro.
I'll explain everything.
That's fucking yikes.
Explain. It's time for me to face the High Council to tell everything.
Everything?
So you're going to listen. You and Osha are not twins. You're not even sisters. You're...
Good thing we watched the last episode, which was essentially a rehash of the third episode, which basically confirmed that diverse non-binary antagonist.
Oh my god, dude. Diverse non-binary antagonist is so tired. I don't know. What is this non-binary shit? It's all like... I don't get... There's no suggestion that there's a non-binary character involved. JD Hatman, thanks for priming, dude. Like, it never comes up. Isn't she definitionally binary because she's two people, right? Okay, so I looked it up. The actor is non-binary, IRL, and she uses she, they. Right, but the character isn't. What's that fucking have to do with anything? Like, the Game of Thrones actresses... actors, non-binary, right? It's just she, they, them, maybe? I don't know. But like, does that make the character non-binary? It's fucking weird, man. Like, why get so hung up on it? Like, he's literally just mad at aesthetics, and I don't understand. Like, if you don't like the show, talk about why you don't like the show, dude.
Who was briefly a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, set a fire in the highly flammable stone structure, killing the remaining coven of lesbian space witches that Moss Windu didn't kill when they possessed Kelnaka. And Sol can't help it if he's retarded and some lesbian space witch rematerialized around his lightsaber. What he is guilty of is having inappropriate connections to a youngling. But as it goes with mystery box storytelling, the audience has to wait for the uninteresting main character or characters to catch up with them. You know, it's too bad the Jedi
mystery box storytelling. I don't think they did a mystery box storytelling thing. They had this guy's specific recollection of events was like obviously more of a climactic build, and I don't think telling the audience ahead of time means that it's in a mystery box. Right. It's like promise payoff in writing, and so like if you say like, oh, I have a secret, then later on you're going to figure out what that secret is, right? That's what it's for. That's what telling the audience does, is it lets them know, okay, I've made a promise, and then, you know, later on I'm going to do some Chekhov's secret. I mean, well, Chekhov's gun is an example of that sort of concept.
Master Soul didn't think to remove the plot convenience from his captive. And the diverse non-binary antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's back to being an antagonist, gets away. It's barely an inconvenience. Nice helmet, by the way. But when that guy from Squid Game has diverse non-binary antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's now an antagonist in his...
Dude, it's like annoying, though. It's not clever. You could, like, if you were just to say it once and then be like, that's my gripe. I don't like that we had her point of view, essentially. Bro can't handle morally correct characters. It's like, literally, you're just like, okay, is this the bad guy? And then I wonder what her motivations are. And then you find out, and you're like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if I do disagree. And then you find out the other character's motivations, you're like, I don't know, maybe I do support this character. Like, it's just, that's what the fucking thing's about. Because it's supposed to be like, hey, this situation was complex, although, like, really just, in my opinion, religion is bad.
His sights, Space Beaver sabotages him.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
Diverse non-binary protagonist had the aforementioned vision and took Little Wang with her. Diverse non-binary antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's back to being an antagonist, crashes relatively close to the highly flammable stone structure. And that guy from Squid Game turns on his transponder, and the Jedi receive it. But there is one small scene worth mentioning because it wouldn't be an episode of The Acolyte without Leslie Headland taking George Lucas's lore to Harvey's couch. Oh, I've used that one too much already. How about Dave Filoni taking George Lucas's lore to the doghouse? Because it happened, folks. They plagueist.
They glup shittoed.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
You may think it's about the Sith Lord being betrayed and killed by his apprentice Palpatine, but in truth, he was arrested for stalking after being caught watching a young Asian man sleep in a cave on an island. At this point, Disney...
May is not an antagonist. He doesn't understand how to watch the stuff. So, yeah, we got glup shittoed big time. Sarah and I were sitting there, and she goes, did we just get glup shittoed? Because I didn't know that was Darth Plagueis.
The analytics dictate...
Who is this for? Slop people. I don't know. People that are made of slop.
There needs to be some action and lightsabers. And after diverse non-binary protagonist is somehow able to hotwire a door in a combustible stone.
Somehow hotwire a door. They do that in the fucking first movie in Star Wars. Sometimes they just shoot a door panel, you know?
Structure where 16 years previous the generators blew up. We get Smilo Ren versus that guy from Squid Game in Crouching Patriarchy and Hidden Misogyny.
Liu Kang. Liu Kang.
Oh, so he's being racist? Sick, bro. That's just racism, man.
Fight!
Dude, I love his fucking fight style. He'll switch between like different sort of like ways of fighting. It's pretty dope. What's weird is that if you were a Star Wars fan, you would know they were inspired by samurai movies. I know, right? I hate this show that I watched multiple times and paid for an extra streaming service to watch. Behold how much I hate it while I get money to the studio and rage, right? But he gets paid money to say this. So that's what it is.
Intercut.
I don't know why is he implying that it was lame? That it was lame for people to be able to do that shit? What? That literally happens all the time. You can force jump and soft land and shit.
With the matchup 5s and 10s of people were waiting for. When diverse non-binary antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, tells diverse non-binary protagonist that that guy from Squid Game killed their mom, it leads to a Disney Star Wars first, some sister-on-sister action, and it went down something like this. But in all seriousness, we did almost get some scissoring.
Ha 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 ha. Cute, dude. So, you're a creep, man.
And Smilo Ren pulled out his Little Wang. That guy from Squid Game gets the best of Smilo Ren, and then we get a double heel turn. And I hope you're all keeping track at home because, quite frankly, I'm having trouble. Diverse non-binary antagonist.
Why are you having trouble? This was not... If you just watch the show, all this makes sense. This is not a hard show to follow. What? This guy's brain fell out of his fucking skull.
Was previously a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, saves Smilo Ren from that guy from Squid Game. This is the point where Disney ain't.
That's an antagonist? Well, I do not think she's an antagonist.
Analytics dictates it's time to repurpose something from the real Star Wars.
Your hate has made you powerful. Fulfill your destiny.
Never.
Well, screw that. This is better.
Okay.
Good, May. Feel your anger. This is the source of your pain. Strike him down, and your journey will be complete.
No.
What?
So now it's diverse non-binary protagonist who was formerly an antagonist, who was formerly a protagonist, who was formerly an antagonist.
But wait! There's more!
Then diverse non-binary protagonist shows up and that guy from Squid Game admits he killed her mom.
And you killed her. You killed our mother.
Yes, I did.
Is that true?
Turning diverse non-binary protagonist into, you guessed it, diverse non-binary antagonist who was formerly a protagonist. And this brings us to what is undoubtedly a big W for DEI.
DEI? You should DIE. What the fuck? Oh my god. Just fucking end it. There is no goddamn reason for you to waste your goddamn brain like this. It is absolutely, it's unethical to allow yourself to be this fucking stupid. There's just no fucking way that you should, like, do you have pets or people that are like, that you need to care for to be this fucking brain dead? It should be checked out whether or not you're responsible enough to be on your own. If this is like actually the way that you think with your brain. Yeah, it's just like, their races or what the fuck ever do not come up in the story. It's not a thing. It's literally just, here are the characters, here's what they're doing. I have no idea why he is. I mean, he's racist. That's why he's obsessed. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to be this obsessed.
A Disney Star Wars milestone. The first black female to identify as non-binary to force choke an Asian man, whose last words are, "I love you."
I did everything because I love.
I love you. Oh my god, he's racist again. Holy shit. Just keeps happening, bro.
Disney, I'm sure you're aware you have a bit of a reputation right now with the way your company acts and what you put into your scripts, and with something like this, it's really hard to argue that. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game says it's okay to kill him now.
Stop talking.
I better use my strong hand.
Fatality.
Then diverse non-binary protagonist who was previously an antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who was previously an antagonist.
Oh my fucking god. It's like, it's actually insufferable.
Smirks. And this is where things get shockingly stupid. Anakin's turn to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith was downright arduous compared to this. Diverse non-binary antagonist who was formerly a protagonist force chokes a Jedi with no training, bleeds on her kyber crystal, which turns her lightsaber red.
So this is an established thing that you can do, by the way.
Red. That's red.
Girls get it done.
That not so anticipated reveal of who is Smilo Ren's master? Well, we find out it's Jedi Master Nepo in a basic line of dialogue.
You're alive.
And I can hear you now.
Former.
Now, dear viewer.
Kyber bleeding has been canon since before this. It's been a thing for for its old fucking. You can do that in Knights of the fucking Old Republic. Like, they talk about the link to the dark side and how it changes the fucking colors and shit. And how when you know, the crystal fucking matches to you, whatever. But, like, there are stories that, hey, if you turn, and you know, your lightsaber will change with you because of the link between you. Like, it's so fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Or they're obviously setting up a confrontation between Smilo Ren, the twins, Jedi Master Nepo, and our Jedi Corps of cosplayers, and Darth Plagueis. And Plagueis killing everyone because that's the only way you can justify the Jedi not knowing about the Sith, and lesbian space witches who use the Force to conceive twins without a father. You sweet summer children.
So
there you go again, trying to make sense. Nope.
Trying to make sense. So yeah, Force babies are a thing, and Darth Plagueis is like they're setting up like, ooh, did he steal the idea from fucking Force witches, which is totally a thing. The Force witches are real. I forget what their names are, what they're actually called. Great pearls make great saber crystals. There you go. We can't do magic, but only the male Sith guy can do it. Yeah, it's just the Night Sisters. That's right. Yeah.
Nope, Smilo Ren runs away with the twins. And instead of doubling his pleasure, the idiot mind wipes May and sends her back to the Jedi. No confrontation, no Darth Plagueis. The Acolyte ends with a series of meetings. And we find out who the true villain is. I mean, besides Kathleen Kennedy and former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. No, it's her wife, Jedi Master Nepo, who not only covers up the existence of the twins and her former Padawan has gone to the Sith, Jedi Master Nepo covers up the previous Jedi cover-up by...
Why is he calling this person Jedi Master Nepo? Is this actress a Nepo baby? Does he not like nepotism? Why does he support Trump?
Framing Soul as the murderer of all the Jedi with this line, which also expresses exactly how Disney feels about George Lucas's Star Wars.
Well, this is a terrible tragedy. It was the work of one flawed man.
And this show is the work of one flawed woman. When in doubt, blame the man who did nothing wrong.
Wow, that's actually crazy. What? He did not do nothing wrong. He is responsible for many deaths. This is the story. Did he not watch the show? He didn't watch the fucking show at all. No. He's actually fucking brain dead. It's illegal to be like this. It should be illegal.
This is the point where Disney Analytics dictates their needs.
Is he saying analytics every time? I thought chat was making a joke, but he's actually saying analytics.
It's to be another pointless cameo.
Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk.
Yeah, well. Anyway, so the show takes place during the height of the Jedi before the prequels. So, of course, Yoda's there.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
So what's Jedi Master Nepo gonna say here? Yeah, Master Yoda, there was this coven of lesbian space witches who conceived twins without a father that...
Hello, I'm from the Nerd Auditing Squad Association, or NASA, for short. I'm here to inform you that your nerd collection and nerd card are now revoked. And no, this won't increase your chance of getting laid.
Teach me, Daddy!
Oh, wow, you still don't get laid and you lose your nerd card? That's tough. When 900 years old you are, been there. Oh, it's a Yoda? Been there for much of history you have been. Wow.
Died mysteriously at the hands of some Jedi who covered it up, and then those Jedi were murdered along with a dozen others, directly or indirectly at the hands of my former Padawan, and I framed an innocent man for some of those murders? Or is she just going to ask for...
He's not innocent, but he's not responsible for the whole thing. It's a narrative about corruption and power, man, and the politics of the Jedi, and why they ultimately fail, because they are corruptible just like everything else, and they're not as good as... They're not perfect. The original movies talk about how the Jedi are imperfect. Yoda has criticisms of the Jedi in the original trilogy. Like, Luke does. And he says, like, oh, they made mistakes, but we got to do it better this time. Like, and Luke's way too old. And, it's a whole thing. Darth Vader is their fault, man. That's the whole fucking thing. Come on, dude. Pay attention.
For some vacation time to take care of the one loose end. Whack Basil. And this scenario creates a lot of questions. Is Yoda complicit? Does he know about these cover-ups? And does he know about the Sith, and has he been lying? Or is...
Yoda's complicit in a lot of stuff and shares regret throughout many depictions of his character, like also in the fucking like cartoon show and shit, like the animated, I forget what it's called, fucking the one with Anakin. Anyway, Clone Wars, that's the one.
Is he a clueless idiot? That leads to 50 more questions. And then I remembered...
I don't care.
I could go on, but I won't. The Acolyte is the worst Star Wars ever made.
Really? Huh. I disagree. Big time.
Worst Disney Star Wars ever made.
I definitely
and it's
disagree.
Everything Kathleen Kennedy wanted, replacing heroism and masculinity with moral relativism.
Wait, what's not masculine about what?
Replacing talent with activists. And big shocker, it doesn't work. So ends the derivative fanfic forces female fever dream.
I don't fanfic female fever dream. So men can have romance with their sisters in the original, but you can't have not even real romance. I don't even know if this is romance, to be 100% honest.
Acolyte is over. So ends
like
the
this scene
derivative
right here,
fanfic forces
they don't have like like they have tense moments that you're like, I don't know, is there sexual tension here? But honestly, I don't know. They haven't like had any like open discussions about this.
Female fever dream.
It's kind of sexual tension, but it's so PG. Like it might be sexual tension, but it's like I don't even know if it is. I don't even know.
Acolyte is over. And so is Disney Star Wars, but inexplicably, they don't know it yet.
Nerdrodic.com.
Cool, dude. This guy's videos suck. Holy shit. Right-wingers are actually fucking, like, criminally stupid. It's clear they know he's hot. Manny Jacinto. Yeah, he's a hot Sith guy. He's got the muscles and he's got the, you know? He's got the smiley shit. He's intense. He uses his hands a lot. He's dirty. He's dirty and greasy like Robert Pattinson Batman. I like the character design. He's an interesting character. I like his ethos. I like his opinions. I'd like to see where it goes. We'll see. The worst thing about Disney is that their second seasons always suck. So their third season's even worse. My only gripe in the last episode is him not using his cool helmet in the fight. Yeah, why didn't he, like, fucking own his ass? Because it turns off the lightsabers, man. He stopped using that. Would have been cool. Would have been cool to see them deal with each other's, like, oh, penis. Oh, penis? Better not fuck up Andor. Is there a season 2? It isn't expected to arrive until early 2025. Fuck. Right after an election? Dope. They should move it up to right before the election.